Today's episode is brought to you by Canva.
Canva Pro is the easiest way to create presentations like a pro. Whether you're presenting to your team, students, or clients, Canva Pro has beautiful layouts for every industry, theme, and projects. If you don't know where to start, Canva Pro can help inspire your creativity with thousands of free designer-made templates that are totally customizable. One of my favorite features about Canva Pro is their templates. I've used them for years now. If you guys follow us on our Instagram, you might notice a couple templates here and there. And by a couple, I mean a lot. It's basically our entire Instagram when we first launched, because I didn't know what I was doing and I needed help. And those templates came in clutch.
So wow your audience with Canva Pro. It's the easiest way to create presentations. Right now, you can get a free 45-day extended trial. Just go to canva.me/advice to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's canva.me/advice. Canva.me/advice.
Okay, UA fam, if you guys haven't heard, Duke Cannon Supply Company released a brand new product called Thick. Thick earns its name by being 3 times thicker than common body washes. It's the high viscosity alternative to watching your money run down the shower drain. Thick comes in a big ass container that you can crack open like a beer. And it comes in 4 distinctly masculine scents that won't leave you smelling like a teenage boy. Duke Cannon Thick High Viscosity Body Wash is $9 each, or for all 4, only $30. And guys, I'm gonna just say this. I love masculine scents.
Me too.
I 1,000%
I have a guy's deodorant.
I absolutely prefer it over like floral or sugary, sweet smelling anything.
Mm-hmm. So visit dukecannon.com and use promo code ADVICE for 10% off your entire order. Free shipping with orders over $20. A range of Duke Cannon men's premium products are also available at select Target stores. Again, that's Duke Cannon, DUKECANNON.com, and use promo code ADVICE.
Guys, Ashley's in a mood.
I hate you. Why would you say this on the podcast?
Ashley, we're starting this episode. You have to say,
why would you say this on the podcast?
You love about me.
No, I refuse. I was not in a bad mood, but I'm about to be in a bad mood.
I'm dying.
Ew, your laugh.
Ashley, say one thing nice about me.
No.
We're flipping the narrative.
No, I was in a great mood.
No, you weren't.
Until you started picking on me.
No, you weren't.
I was doing good. I was having a great day, minding my own business, and then. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the podcast. This is Ashley, who's having a great day and a good mood. If you touch me,
oh my God,
I will kill you. Taryne has entered the most clingiest part of her Enneagram 2 number. Also, this is Taryne, my co-host.
She fires me on the spot. Hi, I'm Taryne. And no, I like to bug you, especially on the podcast, because it's funny.
Why is it funny?
It's funny because you're always like, I'm fine, I'm unbothered. But then I know like you are. So then when I push you hard enough to when you start.
You don't know anything.
See,
I was doing good. I was having a great day. I'm tired.
You're
I'm
beautiful.
really tired today, but I was having a great day. And then you started just.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Touching and tapping and teasing, and I can't.
It's what I do.
I can't be here.
I love it, and everyone loves it.
Just gets up, turns off the podcast, walks away.
Imagine that footage of just me sitting here by myself, like, did I push it too far?
Did I go too far? No, the entire audience is like, it was everything you said.
Everyone who's listening is going to think this is funny because it's funny.
Anyone who relates to me will be pissed. They'll be like, I understand her.
Okay, well,
I get her side.
No one gets your side. Anyways, welcome to Unsolicited Advice. We're 2 best friends.
Kind of. We're on the fritz right now.
We're on the fritz.
We're straddling the line between.
You just said on the fritz.
I know. I felt, sometimes I feel like my personality isn't old. old
You
soul.
are.
I'm
You
a
are.
very old soul person. And sometimes these phrases will just slip right out. And I'm just like, where did that came from? But also it feels right.
Yeah. Oh, it felt so, I don't think you could have said something more perfect.
No, I had I mean, but you called me out on it. So
it's cute.
It wasn't perfect because you were like, oh, that was so not something you would say. But
it's a what's it called? A phrase that not a lot of people
that 80 and up say. Because I know.
Yeah. How are you, Ash?
I'm doing so good.
You're glowing today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Skincare routine has been fire lately, guys.
Yes.
I had a very productive day today. I cleaned probably the dirtiest room in this house.
Yeah.
And I cleaned it well. And I organized it well. And I feel very sad. Like something deep inside of me is very satisfied with myself.
Yeah.
I like walked away with the beautiful before and after of the room. And I was just like, hell yeah, Ashley, you can make yourself a cup of coffee now because you freaking deserve it.
If any of you don't know, which you should know, but Ashley has a YouTube channel.
I do. Yeah.
And one of her lanes that she has perfected is she'll do these montage cleaning or organizing videos. Mm-hmm. And I don't really edit I kind of got let go of being her editor. It's fine.
We separated because Taryne doesn't act like it, but she's so busy. Like so busy.
I am. You know what the thing was? And I think this was the line. We would always have these things where she'd be like, well, I didn't want to give it to you because I thought you were busy. And I would be like, well, why didn't you tell me you had a video? And it was like we both were caring about each other, but we couldn't find the rhythm. And then you ended up, it was just a perfect circumstance.
It really was.
She's no hard feelings. She's so happy and talented, the girl
and
you
know
have.
what? When Vlogmas comes around, I might hit you back up anyway. So.
I'm there, girl. But anyways, when I used to edit for her, every time she would give me a cleaning montage, they're the most satisfying things to watch and edit for me. They were my favorite. And so I already know the next video you put up of organizing this is just going to be fire.
Well, it wasn't something that I intentionally walked into. This was something that the audience wanted.
They want it.
The people spoke and they said that they loved watching me clean. And I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
It was a very slippery slope. I was like, is this one of those things where people get weird and they but then it wasn't. Happy surprise. It was not.
Yeah.
People simply loved watching me clean and seeing the before and afters. And I was like, well, cleaning is one of my favorite things to do. So,
it's
your wish is my command.
Aesthetic and satisfying because it's
also
you
calming.
watch something finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys should definitely go watch her video. Me just promoting you. You should definitely go watch her videos.
Shameless self-promotion. It's going to be great.
It's great.
You should check it out.
Check it out.
Also, I did one of the hardest workouts of my life this morning. Hardest.
Oh.
You want to know something I did today for the first time?
I would love to.
A single-legged burpee.
Single leg. What? I can't even do two. Even if I had 4 legs, I couldn't.
I had to do it multiple times.
4 legs. Dude, the one time I got trained and he asked me to do a burpee and I was like politely no, I would rather not. And so he had me do one and he literally couldn't help but just laugh. Oof, and I was like, rough. Maybe we should build up to that.
I mean, burpees are bad enough, but then on the board this morning, it said single leg burpee. And I literally looked at this girl behind me who was just such a solid, ripped body. And I was like, hey, excuse me. She was like, yes. And I was like, could you demonstrate a single legged burpee? Because I was like, how does that work? That doesn't make any sense to me. But you basically jump up on one leg and down, and then you drop into a push up on one leg.
Yeah, no, that's it.
And then you have to hop back up on the same leg, and then you rotate legs. And I can't feel my body right. My whole body hurts. Dude. So I'm moving slow.
But awesome. Good for you.
But it felt like a personal accomplishment because I was like, I've never done that before. So I'm very proud of myself for doing
the next time you're in the class and someone else is like, oh my God, does that say single leg? You'll be like, yeah, let me show you how.
Yeah, I'll be the ripped girl that they have to
know what we should do? We should just have me try one just for our entertainment because I'm sure it'll be great.
I also did a magic mic push up, which I don't think I did well because a lot of the people were doing it really well.
Is it like a snake to the ground?
Mm-hmm.
Hot. Okay. I don't think, what's new with me? Nothing. Something new with me? I don't think so.
How was your weekend? Mother's Day.
It was good. Oh, Mother's Day was great. I love my mama. She was a gem. Also, it's great because like my mom is obsessed with going to get massages. And growing up, I loved it because I would go with her. But now it's great because whenever I like get her a present, I'll be like, I'll treat you to a massage. But that means
You get a massage.
I'm getting a massage too.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I have to pay for it. So, you know, you win some, you lose some.
That's how it's not your birthday.
Yeah.
You're not a mom. So
And while you pay for mine, I'll pay for yours.
can we do a swap situation?
Yeah. I love it. Anyways, but yeah, still thriving, still working and single. And
I love that for you.
you know,
Should we hop into a Turn It Up?
yeah. What? Let's go. Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah. Do it. Take over.
We didn't even discuss if you had one or not, but
I think I have a couple that are buried in there, but I'm fine with you doing it.
okay,
You're
amazing,
prepared.
amazing.
It's already on your.
I was
you're
just
ready.
making sure. Yeah,
I love that.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and enter into our Tearing It Up segment. If you don't know what it is, Taryne's about to explain it to you.
Oh, hi, my name is Taryne. I'm awkward. I do weird things. And at the end of the day, a lot of times they say, did that just happen? And people don't believe me because they're like, that stuff doesn't happen to anyone. But the truth is it does. And all of us have that story that remind you of what I just talked about. And so we asked you guys to send in your embarrassing weird things that have happened. It grew legs and ran off, and it's turned into a segment called Tearing It Up.
It grew legs and ran off. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It did.
Anyways, from one of you guys, we have a funny story. She writes, "Hi, Taryne and Ashley. I've been binging the podcast and it always brightens my day. I was just listening to one of your episodes from last year and had to pause it when I remembered this story."
I love the ones where they're like, I heard this and I had to like
also-
pause it and run to write it.
Yeah,
That's so dope.
She writes, "So I had gone out fishing with my mom, stepdad, and husband last year. When we were done, my stepdad parked so that we could get everything out of the boat. I climbed up to help him since my mom had bad knees. Before I go any further, it's important to understand what I was wearing. I had these activewear type shorts, the dolphin hem ones. And they had these weird built-in underwear in them, which I know exactly the type of shorts that she was talking about.
Is it the ones that go like that on the leg?
Yes,
Like they
but
come
they
up.
have like the spandexy.
Yeah.
Either like underwear style or like super short booty shorts underneath. Yeah. So of course I had decided to wear no underwear underneath, but keep this in mind. So we get the boat cleaned out and I was getting down. It's pretty high up and I'm not coordinated like at all. So I decided to sit on the side and lower myself down to the trailer. Little did I know, I sat on a rope holder thing. So as I went to lower myself down, it caught my shorts and gave me a full wedgie.
Like a hook?
Like a hook. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. It gave her a full wedgie, front and back, ripping the shorts right up the butt. I freaked out because I was stuck dangling there. The image is just like so good because she's like trying to get down but then can't because she's like hooked on her shorts. Sorry. She writes, "My husband, who was on the other side holding our dog, dropped the leash and runs at me using his body to shield me." What a good guy.
I could see it.
What a good guy. She writes, "Of course, there was some random guy who was walking through the parking lot, LOL, and witnessed the entire thing and was trying not to laugh as he walked by. I was mortified and got in the truck as fast as I could. Everyone had a good laugh at my expense, and the story will forever crack me up even to this day. Thanks for helping me remember that story so that I could share it with you all. Delana?"
Ooh.
Delana. Yeah, same. I did the same thing twice.
Is it Delana or
Is it Delana? I was like, Delana? Delana. It's the same thing. What would you say?
Delana.
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 Delana. Oh,
Dude, that's
shoot.
rough. But wait, did she get down?
Yeah, I'm assuming her husband helped her down.
I want to know so many more things.
What I'm picturing, and I know happened, is I'm picturing her like covering up her hole in her butt and like running to the truck. You know,
butthole.
Oh no. I don't regret that in any way.
Literally, I was like, don't say it. Don't say it. Because I'm trying not to always be a 7-year-old boy with my humor.
You need to work on that.
I couldn't. You lobbed that one to me.
I did
had
that to myself. I'm so sorry, Delana. We're all laughing about this so hard. Because normally we laugh at Taryne up. It's not this bad.
Oh, shoot. That's so funny.
It got me. I'm hot
It got
now.
me too. I think the closest thing that's ever happened to me for this is I had a towel around my waist after a pool, and this guy like jumped over this like tiny pole. And so I was like just being dumb and like I could do it too. And so I went and jumped, but I didn't think about the fact that I had something hanging between my legs because I had the towel wrap. So it like hit and I just flipped. I mean, it works. I flipped forward and like ate it so hard. It was kind of like hanging by the towel, but then like the towel came undone and I was fine, you know?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's an unnerving when you're like stuck on something and you're just like, Lord help me.
Lord help. I've never had it to this extent. But there was one time I was in 4th grade and I was running the mile, and we all know, if you know me at all, Ashley can't run.
I feel like you run great.
Nah. Okay. I could never run. I had asthma as a kid. Fun fact. And then as I got older, I did get more active. So I did get better at running. And then I hurt my foot last year trying to be a runner. It's over for me. Like, I'm done. It's done.
She's done.
Anyways, the way that we had our miles set up is we would run past the tether balls. Remember tether balls?
Yep.
One of the things that we would always do as kids is as you ran past it, you would like hit the ball, you know, and like the person in the front would hit it and the person behind them would hit it, and you would just try to keep the ball going the entire mile.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, my turn. And we all know I'm not that coordinated when it comes to stuff like this, like hand-eye coordination stuff. It's not really in my cards. Mm-hmm. So I'm like ready to freaking knock it so hard. And I go to hit it, miss the ball. My hand hits the rope, which causes the ball to wrap around my wrist.
Yep.
And then it literally flung me.
Oh my god!
Because I was running full speed. Full speed.
Why can't we talk today?
I'm really tired. I was running full speed. So it literally, like, I lurch backwards and it spins me around the entire pole, dragging my legs. Ooh. I had the bloodiest, scabbiest, nastiest looking shins and knees for like
that's rough.
A month and a half. It was really bad. I like got sent to the office and we spent like an hour picking the pebbles out of my skin.
Ow.
It was
poor
the
honey.
worst. But
did you feel like you were flying for a second?
Yeah, there was a quick moment where my feet were off the ground and I was like, oh.
Well, one time
was like this.
I tried to walk the mile to see how different my time would be, and it was only a minute. Slower than when I ran. Every time I tell stories about myself, I just want to go,
oh, honey.
It's fine.
Oh, shoot.
It's fine.
I thought I couldn't run.
Girl, I am not. My softball coach used to, my softball coach used to yell when I'd be running the bases. He would be like, unhitch the trailer. And I would be like, that's rude. I'm only hauling myself, sir. I'm trying. She's slow. She's a runner. She's a truck. I can't breathe. Oh, anywho. Okay,
Delaney,
wow.
You just made my day.
We have not even gotten to our stories.
Did I say Delaney? I'm pretty sure it was Delana. Yeah, dang it. I'm so sorry.
So things like presentations or charts or bullet points, things that, you know, are crucial in some work or life circumstances don't always come easy to all people, especially if like you don't know how to work
Exactly.
technology. So Like for me, I know it has to look a certain way, but I don't always know how to get my presentation to that level. And it can be super frustrating. But now that I've been working with Canva Pro, creating and sharing things like presentations is easier than ever.
Thanks to Canva Pro's time-saving tools and editing features, I can create high-quality, high-resolution presentations in minutes, and they look absolutely stunning. One of my favorite features about Canva Pro is their templates. I've used them for years now. If you guys follow us on our Instagram, you might notice a couple templates here and there. And by a couple, I mean a lot. It's basically our entire Instagram when we first launched, because I didn't know what I was doing and I needed help, and those templates came in clutch. Another thing that I love about Canva Pro is that I can design, collaborate, share, and present on any device. I have the application on my phone. I have the login for my computer. I can go anywhere, anytime, any place, and present using any device, and it's so handy.
So wow your audience with Canva Pro. It's the easiest way to create presentations. Right now, you can get a free 45-day extended trial. Just go to canva.me/advice to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's canva.me/advice, canva.me/advice. Today, we are partnering with Simply Safe. And if you're like, what is that? Well, Simply Safe is an award-winning home security system. So you know it's engineered with the latest technology you want to keep your family safe. But what really sets Simply Safe apart is its people. Highly trained security experts who are always there for you when you need them most. These are people who truly care about keeping you safe.
People, guys. Not computers,
right?
Not robots. When an alarm goes off, a person who cares is there for you with a phone call to make sure that you're okay. When an emergency happens, a person who cares is there for you by getting fire and police responders to your front door right away. Even if you're just having a problem setting up your system, a person who cares is there for you with a friendly chat and a quick resolution. The bottom line is, when you need them the most, Simply Safe is there 24/7 with people who care and experts trained to not only keep you safe, but to make you feel safe.
That's crucial.
I love my Simply Safe because I just think it feels really good to be able to press the home button on my Simply Safe keypad and hear the bass say, alarm on. Wow, we didn't talk about that.
I know.
Like just those words, I'm sleeping better.
Yes,
I'm sleeping better already.
To learn more about how Simply Safe can help protect you and your family, visit simplysafe.com/advice today to customize your system and get a free security camera. You also get a 60-day risk-free trial, so there is literally nothing to lose. That's simplysafe.com/advice. Okay, so this story is called "To All the Boys Who Never Loved Me."
Yeah.
Which I was like, I
Great
love
title.
those
Great
movies. So I was like, oh, okay. Hi, Taryne and Ashley. I would like to remain anonymous, which I'm bummed they want to remain anonymous because there's something cool about their name, but I can't say anything about it because it'll give it away. But I'll share it with you later. All of you listening, sorry. Okay, I'm going through a really rough time with a breakup right now and would love some advice. Or even if you don't read this, I think writing this all out will help. Love that. That's one of my favorite things I read. Okay, my boyfriend and I of just over a year just broke up. It was completely mutual and amicable, but something about that makes it even harder. I can totally relate to that.
It's a weird concept, but it would be so much easier if they were just an ass and a douchebag, and
or
all
like
your friends are like, get
you.
rid of him. You know, when they're a nice guy and it just doesn't work out, that's hard. That's really hard.
Nope. Yeah. That was my breakup it was our relationship had gotten horrible with like how much we were fighting, but it came down to we love each other and we were great in so many ways, but like ultimately like we couldn't coexist in a relationship. Yeah. And I think that's why it took me so long to get over him, because I was just like, it wasn't like, I still love you, but you cheated on me and I can never forgive you. It was like, I still love you, but like, we just aren't working. Right. Like that's hard.
Super hard.
So hard. Okay.
She goes on, part of me wishes something went terribly wrong so that I could be angry instead of sad all the time. What our breakup came down to was that after a year, we had never said I love you to each other. He had never said it because he never felt that way. I never said it because I knew he wouldn't say it back. And either I was afraid to face the rejection or I didn't want to put pressure on him to say it back immediately since everyone's emotions move at a different pace. Love that you said that. We finally discussed this issue several months ago, and he told me he cares a lot about me and maybe he could get there. We decided that we just needed more time and neither of us wanted to lose each other, so we stayed together. Now, a couple of months later, we both just came to the realization that nothing had changed since our first conversation, and we were just pushing back the inevitable because I didn't want to lose him and he didn't want to hurt me. The thing is, either way, I'm hurt. I was hurting when we were together because I loved him and he didn't love me back. And now I'm hurting because I still love him, but don't have him anymore. We agreed to stay friends, but I know I need time to heal before that happens. And right now it's hard for me to imagine seeing him without bursting into tears. I'm a firm, like once it's done, like you need to like,
Absolutely.
Just me, but I think what is particularly hard for me is that this breakup has brought up a lot of old insecurities of mine that I know are not rational, but I can't talk myself out of. We started dating right before I had turned 25, and before that, I had never had a boyfriend. This was something I was really insecure about because I didn't feel like that had been my choice. I felt unlikable, undateable, and unlovable. When we started dating, those insecurities went away for the most part because I felt like finally someone noticed me, liked me, and wanted to date me. But now that we're over, especially because we broke up because he couldn't love me, those insecurities are flooding back. I logically know there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but I can't see it when I'm in the darkest part. Thanks for taking the time to read. Any advice would be appreciated. Even just writing it out was therapeutic. Best, Anonymous.
Wow.
I know.
That's the worst.
It's like, it makes me so sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like, I feel like it's not just the breakup, but it's so much of a deeper thing than that, especially since that was already there. And it's hard because it's easy to be like, oh yeah, like I'm single because I'm picky and I'm single because I'm this and I'm single because I'm that. But there's not really an avenue that a lot of people talk about, like I'm single because like it's just nothing is working. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be single. It's almost like that's like, you don't talk about that. If you're single, you have to pretend like you want to be or else it makes you look weak, you know?
I get that, but I feel like I've been in a place where I've been single before and like fully happy with it. And it wasn't like I felt a need to project this kind of like strong, I don't need independence thing. I feel like it was just like,
but I just mean natural. Like with people, like if people are like, oh, are you dating anyone? You're not usually like, no, but I really would like to be. You know what I mean? It's kind of more like, oh no, like nothing's come. Like you kind of light play. Like no one really talks about like, yeah, like I am single, but like I do desire to be in a relationship. It's just, I haven't like, you know what I mean? You don't talk about that in detail with a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
But, I don't know. Like, I mean, as far as like, I feel like everyone can relate to like when breakups happen or something like that, how insecurities can like rise again.
Oh, 1,000%. The thing with breakups is it's always going to bring up all of these weird emotions. You're going to start second guessing how you feel. You're going to start second guessing a lot of things about yourself that maybe you never second guessed before. They might have come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Or maybe you've kind of known that they've been there and now they're surfacing because you're in a vulnerable place. The thing with all of this is, I swear, this is the stupidest thing. It's so frustrating. But I remember when I was going through my worst breakup, one of my friends told me that it took her a solid year to get over her ex. Her and her ex were madly in love. I was madly in love with my boyfriend at the time. And she was like, it's going to take you a year. And I remember being like, it's been a week.
Yeah.
I can't handle that. And I remember having a really hard time processing that. And it was probably the most depressed I've ever been, and maybe not ever, but it was pretty intense for a while. But she was spot on.
Yeah.
It's so weird how spot on she was. There's no logic to this. There's no science to this in any way. But it took me almost a year to get over him, and I don't know why it did. But at one point, I kind of just accepted that and was like, okay, I'm in a place right now where I'm going to start doing stuff for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play around and find things that make me happy because I'm not happy right now. But I made a very intentional decision to start doing that. And weird plot twist, one of my favorite things that I do to this day is work out constantly. And I didn't start until that breakup.
Yeah. That became like part of your choice.
It was my therapy.
Yeah.
100%. And I'm not saying that that'll be it for you. Yours might be something completely different. Obviously everyone's different, but I guarantee you something really cool can come from this if you give yourself time to allow yourself to do that.
Yeah. And I think what's important to remember too, because you did the whole analogy of like, I'm sure there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but like I'm in a dark place, is like Ash said, like, I probably was around a year too, but that doesn't mean like you're going to be sad for that whole year.
Yeah.
Like anytime you're like healing or getting over something, like there's different steps to that process, right? Like, so the first part, which you're in, is just feeling overwhelmed with the emotions that come from it. And that is just as crucial of a part as when you start to rediscover who you are, you know, like it's all valuable. And I remember like, it was right around like the 6 months. I don't know if this was for you too, was when I was like, okay, now I'm going to start doing the work and I'm excited about it. It was like all the kind of sadness had worn to an extent. And then I was like, okay, now I got to start like building back up.
Yeah. It wasn't painful anymore.
Yeah,
all of a sudden there was like a distance between you and the pain.
Which still, it sounds like, oh my God, 6 months, but it's like, it's not like every day you're just sad all the time or you can't start talking to someone else or doing other things, but it can be whatever the process needs to be for you. But I think like you're lucky because you've already stripped down like what the core thing is that you need to focus on. And that is the fact that you are feeding yourself the biggest lie that you need to get over. And that's that you are unlikable, undateable, unlovable. Like all of that, you need to just like acknowledge with me right now. That is a lie. Like that is not true. You are lovable. You're dateable. You are so valuable. You have so much to offer this world and someone else. And I don't have to know you personally to know that. Every human being has something beautiful and valuable to offer the world. And I can tell you right now, you write beautifully. Just in certain verbiage or things you've said, I can tell that you're just a beautiful human. So I think that is going to be your biggest hurdle. And how do you combat that? You have to flip the narrative. Like I was trying to get Ashley to tell me what she loved about me because she didn't love me in that moment.
Did she?
But no, and she didn't. So, but we're doing great right now.
We're doing great.
So I think that your focus needs to be on stuff that you even might have a hard time feeling. And whether that means you call your friends and say, hey, can you tell me like 5 things that you love about me or 5 things you think that I'm gifted at, and start to like journal, write it down and say things that are positive. So I think honestly, this is going to be a self-love journey for you. And also like, I think it's not until we get to the end where we look back and we're like, oh my gosh, I see the reasoning for what happened in my life. Like for me, I was always like, why did no one like me in high school? Like why everyone had boyfriends, no one liked me. And I never knew until literally I was older, and a lot of those guys were like, oh, well, your dad was our junior high principal and we were scared of him. And then I was
Rightfully
like, oh,
so.
like there, but that protected me from a lot of guys that now looking back, I'm like, I'm so glad I never dated them. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes it's not that what's that thing, that podcast we loved? And obviously this kind of ties to like our faith, but she said it so beautifully. It was something like, you're not unseen, you're hidden. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Because like she
was the same thing, like always wondering like, where is the guy? And she felt like everyone just like wasn't seeing her, but it was really, she came to realize like she was being hidden till the right person came. And I started sobbing when I heard that, because I think it's good to like think like there's a bigger picture always at play, and maybe you're being protected from a lot of other heartbreak and people that would have trapped you into relationships that caused a lot of damage, you know? So I think when you start to learn to not see this all as negative stuff, but as stepping stones to where you're meant to be, it'll start to be stuff that you see more like you try to figure it out instead of like avoid it. I don't know if I just made sense.
No, yeah, 100%.
Okay. But I think this is going to be great. I do think you need to definitely focus on the I don't feel lovable part. And I mean, find whatever outlet you need, whether that is therapy, whether that is, there's so many good books and podcasts and things out there, but
like
you need to fall in love with yourself before you can fall in love with someone else. I personally think that's this chapter of your life. Like you got to love and date and be obsessed with yourself. And then you're going to be surprised how much comes out of that.
Eat, pray, love.
Eat, pray, love.
Words to live by.
Yeah. I watch that movie all the time, and I restart that book all the time.
It always makes me want pasta.
Right? And a man. Just kidding. But yeah, thank you so much, Anonymous, for writing in with this. And I honestly am so excited. Like my time after my breakup was like one of my favorite chapters of my life, because so much growth happened during that.
Yeah,
you know?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the person I am today.
We probably wouldn't be friends, Ash.
If I had, I wouldn't have met you if I was.
I wouldn't have met you. I would have been married with like children by now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have been in a whole other circle of life.
Mm-hmm.
Are you thankful?
Why is your hand on my knee?
Are you thankful?
Why is your hand on my knee?
But are you thankful?
I'm thankful.
Me too.
God.
So there are some things in life you would not like to have thin. A thin steak, a thin wallet, thinning hair. And another area is body wash. That's not necessarily an adjective you would like to describe it, right, Ash?
Absolutely not.
So enter Thick, a new product from Duke Cannon Supply Company.
Guys, Thick earns its name by being 3 times thicker than the common body washes. We're talking thick. It's the high viscosity alternative to watching your money run down the shower drain. Thick comes in a big ass container that you can crack open like a beer, and it comes in 4 distinctly masculine scents that won't leave you smelling like a teenage boy. And guys, I'm gonna just say this: I love masculine scents.
Me too.
I 1,000%.
I have a guy's deodorant.
I absolutely prefer it over like floral or sugary, sweet smelling anything. Mm-hmm. So thin is out and thick is in. Duke Cannon Thick high viscosity body washes are $9 each, or for all 4, only $30. They have scents like Bourbon Oak Barrel, which is their latest scent inspired by their favorite place on earth, the Buffalo Trace Distillery, with notes of amber combined with a woodsy oak barrel foundation for rich scent that smells as good as bourbon tastes. Or, in my personal opinion, the Naval Diplomacy might be your best option, a refreshing ocean scent with notes of freshwater musk and bergamot. This girl loves bergamot.
Yeah, you love
That's
bergamot.
my favorite.
Also, Thick is made with plant-based thickeners for superior lather. We love a good lather. So if you guys would like to get in on this, visit DukeCannon.com and use promo code ADVICE for 10% off your entire order. Free shipping with orders over $20. A range of Duke Cannon men's premium products are also available at select Target stores. Again, that's Duke Cannon, DukeCannon.com, and use promo code ADVICE. Ash, wouldn't it be great if there was a pocket-sized guide that helped you to sleep, focus, act, and just in general be better?
Oh, everything I need.
Well, Ash, there is. And if you have 10 minutes, y'all, Headspace can change your life.
Guys, if you don't already know, Headspace is one of the only meditation apps advancing the field of mindfulness and meditation through clinically Validated research. And need help falling asleep? Headspace has wind down sessions their members swear by. And for parents, Headspace even has morning meditations that you can do with your kids. Headspace is backed by 25 published studies on its benefits with 600,000 five-star reviews and over 60 million downloads. I am very new to meditation. I started this year and I found it to be very helpful and very comforting and very grounding. However, the sleep meditations are next level. I am sleeping like a baby now because I'm finally learning how to wind my body down.
Yeah.
And it is a very simple, very quick, easy process of just simply shutting each part of your body off and preparing it for sleep. And wow, does it work.
She wakes up like a new person.
I do. And I tell everyone.
You all deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/advice. That's headspace.com/advice for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditation for every situation. This is the best deal offered right now. So head to headspace.com/advice.
Okay, everyone, it's my turn for a story. This is titled, I'm Sick of Living a Lie.
Ooh.
Hi, Ash and Taryne. My name is Tony. She writes, feel free to use it.
Hello, Tony.
And I am a 24-year-old female living in Chicago. Before I begin, I just wanted to say I completely adore you both. Watching your videos and listening to your podcast makes me feel so close to you both and all of your amazing friends that you surround yourself with.
Oh, love that.
Also, I took the Enneagram test and I am a type 6 and holy with a lot of Y's cow. They nailed exactly how I am. They tend to do that.
Yeah, they do.
That's the only reason I dove right into it head first. Cause I was like, they know me.
Yeah, there was so much truth. It was crazy.
Without unloading everything on your beautiful souls, I will try and keep it as short as possible. For the past 24 years, I have been dealing with a difficult relationship with my mom and my sister. Because of y'all, it is something that I have been working on with my therapist.
Aww.
Hey, snaps for therapy.
Yes.
Which I am so grateful for. My therapist has been able to put into words what I have been feeling for years and validating those emotions. As I continue on my journey of becoming a stronger person, I cannot help but relive some of those heart-wrenching emotions from my past. Constantly being rejected and judged over the things I have done. I am not a wild child, so it hurts to think that I am doing something wrong when I stick up for myself. Therefore, you can imagine that it is difficult to communicate with my mom and sister because of their immediate harsh judgments. Yeah. The amount of anxiety it takes for me to even tell them I want to get an iced coffee alone is a whole process. Dang. Like palms sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy kind of feeling. Hey, mom spaghetti. I won't rap. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know all of you guys were worried.
But the words won't
come out. He's joking now. Okay. She continues. Loved the Eminem little mention. Yeah, that was great. The situation I am writing about is, how can I tell my mom and sister that I'm seeing someone without them being extremely judgmental? Now, it's not as easy as it seems because I've been down this road so many times before, expecting a different result every single time. My mom and sister have always driven my past boyfriends away because of their opinions on them. Ooh. And it being some superficial reason. One instance leading me to leave home because my mom threatened to physically attack me if I didn't stop talking to this one guy.
What?
I left in the hope that it would improve our mother and daughter relationship. I lived on my own for 2 years and moved back home when I started nursing school. We have made some progress, yet they will make sure that I know my place, she puts in quotes, and that I am weak and inferior to them.
I'm sorry. Is the sister older? Did she mention that?
She didn't mention her sister's age.
I would guess though,
I would assume, or she has a very opinionated, strong-willed little sister,
and has almost like a what do you call it? Like a alliance with the mom. Like they think very similar.
They are the same type of person. Okay. Yeah. She continues, I am very capable of making wise decisions as I am about to graduate school and have so many goals for my career and life. Yes, you do.
Yes.
Now, I am in a relationship that was such a surprise to me since I have given up all hope, genuinely. As much as I was scared to start really falling for someone, it literally felt like the universe was pulling us together. Aww. He is kind, gentle, genuine, mature, and such a huge sweetheart. He's someone that I instantly miss when we're apart. My heart breaks. Cute. I know. My heart breaks because he doesn't deserve to be kept a secret. He understands me in ways that no one ever has. When I go and hang out with him, I don't want to lie anymore about who I am going with. Yet my guard is up because I don't want them to ruin this for me.
Yeah.
I want my family to get to know him as the amazing person that he is, but I'm afraid they're going to judge his job, his looks, his interests, the money that he makes, and all the things that are so superficial. They are notorious for trying to talk me out of liking someone, and I do not want them to do that to this relationship because this is the first time in 5 years that I have felt loved unconditionally. He makes me feel seen, appreciated, and loved, which I have not felt with my family nor any other relationship. I've truly never felt like this before. So, I need help on how I can go about telling them about someone that I care for, knowing the history they have with this kind of stuff. I am sick and tired of having to hide these things about myself in general because of their judgments, but especially about someone that I truly do care about. His family is open and loving, and my family is the quite opposite. It scares me to think about what could happen out of this conversation with them, but I know it is one that I'm going to have because he is someone that I'm very serious about. I appreciate you providing this outlet for people to be vulnerable and share such hard situations. If you don't read this on the podcast, that is totally okay. Writing it out always makes me feel better. I love and appreciate you both. May you have a blessed 2021. I can't wait to see your videos and listen to more episodes.
I love her.
Love Tony.
Literally, all I kept saying the whole time in my head while you were reading was, why?
Yeah.
I couldn't stop thinking, why?
In my past experience, and I guess we're just going to dive right into it, people that are like that are so miserable and unhappy with their own lives that they have to nitpick on other people. That's the only thing. Like, there's no other reason why to act that way and try to control someone else's life unless you're just completely upset and hate yours.
But it's like, okay, if it were a best friend, right? Mm-hmm. Like, say for instance, if me and you start dating someone, I'm so miserable because I don't want you to date someone because then I'll have to be alone. Mm-hmm. And I was being like terrible to you, right? Mm-hmm. I still think that's so whack, but like also I'm like, oh, I get it a little bit more. But your mother and sister, for them to like be very volatile to like not have you date why?
I have no idea. It bothers me a lot, the level of control that they want to have and the way they're affecting you so much. The literal threat that your mother gave you.
Imagine your mom being like, I'm going to beat the crap out of you if you bring him.
Well, one, I can't because my mom's just like the genuinely
see your mom fight
like the sweetest person on the planet. But oof. My head's in 50,000 different places because there's so many things I want to talk about. But I think the main thing that I want to hit on is the boundaries thing, which I'm sure you've talked about with your therapist. But I feel, Tony, like this relationship is a huge fork in the road.
Yeah.
You have been growing and challenging yourself with your therapist and learning so much. And now you've come to a place where you get to make a decision. Mm-hmm. You get to either live in fear and compliancy and lie, as you put it in your title, and not share this kind of stuff with them, or you go the other direct otter.
We're not.
I cannot. Or you go the other direction and you firmly and with bold print, like draw a huge line and say, this is where you're allowed to come to and no further. By telling them that, hey, I'm in a relationship. He means a lot to me. You have no say whatsoever in whether or not I get to be with him. I would love for you to meet him, but only like there has to be some kind of situation where you're in control where they get to meet him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh,
telling them about him is one thing, which I feel like you should, because he sounds great. And I feel like this would be a good thing for you to do for yourself, would be to tell them that you're in a relationship with someone who's awesome. But then, eventually, like, what I would say is I would love for you to meet him maybe one day if you're like,
yeah,
I don't want to say good, but on your best behavior. I don't want to say that either, but like kind of.
I think the thing is like before it even gets to any detail about the specific guy, there's the bigger issue that needs to be addressed. And that's what this is like UA conflict resolution 101. Mm-hmm. On a great day, maybe like schedule a fun lunch with your mom and sister. Mm-hmm. And then while like things are positive and you're all happy, bring up like, hey, I've noticed this pattern and it's brought a lot of turmoil. It's been really hard for me. I'm sure it's been hard for you. Again, sometimes you got to like butter the other side of the toast.
Always use food and beverage. It works.
I'm not talking about actual food, but yes.
No, the lunch thing.
Yes, yeah. I agree. But I'm saying like sometimes you gotta sweeten it up for them. Mm-hmm. Like even though you should go in and be like, you guys are psycho, you guys are nuts, this is unhealthy, you need to stop. Like going in and being like, I know it's been hard for you, it's been hard for me. Sometimes when you just level the field to like have a conversation, especially with people that are just straight nuts. Mm-hmm. Like they sound nuts,
which I would put them in that category.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I would create like a very like light conversation, no accusations, just saying like, hey, I've noticed this in the past. Obviously, it's led to me having to move out before. It's led to like our relationships being affected. And I don't want that to be the case. So I would love if we could come up with a solution to this. Mm-hmm. And then basically, like Ashley said, after that, if they're still being stupid about it, saying like, okay, well, I have someone in my life, but I am refusing to bring him into this unhealthy atmosphere until you guys are willing to make a difference. But if you want any part of that part of my life, then things have got to change.
Step up.
And you're so lucky that you have a guy who's, first of all, like, okay, I totally understand. And still, like, you have his family relationships. And unfortunately, sometimes that's just what happens. Like, when you get married and you create your own family, that's your priority. So if you have stuff, like, a lot of times families pull apart. And the goal would be to figure out something before that happens. Yeah. But I think, like Ash said, there has to be a clear boundary of this is happening and this is my choice and I'm very happy. If you would like a part of this, things have got to change. You can't disrespect him. You can't disrespect me. I can't go with this like unhealthy, aggressive behavior anymore. Mm-hmm. Like you've got to change if you want to be a part of this. But you also live with them. So I will say like there probably is going to have to be if the conversation doesn't go well, it might have to be something where you just have to deal with kind of the separation until you move out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which I feel like she mentioned that she was planning on doing that soon, right?
Oh, okay. I know she said for nursing school. I don't know how long.
I don't know. I'm blanking
too. Because once you're out of the house, it's a little bit more on your terms, right? So you could be like, hey, I'm dating someone. I would love for you guys to meet him and come over and whatever. And then if they act up, then they leave, but they're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you live with them and have to deal with that over and over, that's harder.
Another thing I would suggest, if there is a meeting of the boyfriend, I would suggest doing it in a public place.
Yes.
Very public place. Yes. Maybe daytime. Definitely no alcohol involved. Mm-mm. Let's do like a nice, like simple, like lunch or brunch or something around that where it's just very lighthearted and easy. He doesn't come home with you guys. Yeah. Because I feel like people like that I've known in the past, they're always nice and cordial in public. And it's the second you get home that they start acting all kinds of crazy. So
yeah. Well, and if you've laid the ground rules, like you've had the conversation of like, hey, it's not going to get to this point. If you're acting like that, then whatever. Then that makes it easier for if they started acting up for you to be like, you know what, guys, this is not appropriate. I'm not going to put him through this. So we're going to go ahead and just leave.
We're going to leave.
Walk to the front, pay your bill from the front and leave. But you've already laid that. So they can't be like, oh, what was that? Like, why'd you act like that?
It's not like you're leaving their house and it's more of a dramatic thing.
Yeah.
I'm actually really stoked for you, Tony, because I feel like this might be something that really needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm really curious to see like how they respond to so boldly, like drawing that boundary for yourself. I'm curious to see if it like aggravates them more, or if it's like, if they possibly needed to be spoken to that bluntly, you know?
Yeah. And hopefully, like, I mean, it sounds like they got big egos because you mentioned they think they're above everyone else.
Yeah.
So if you got to stroke the ego a little bit to be like, you guys are so great and important to me. And I've noticed this has been hard for all of us. And I would love you to be a part of this. And hopefully like a peaceful thing just goes, then awesome. But you owe it to yourself and your man to like also be ready to bring out the big guns and be like, okay, that's great. I tried to play nice, but if you want to meet him, like, this has to stop.
Yeah, plan A and plan B. Plan A is super nice. Keep it cordial. Keep it polite. And if they don't play along, then
Hulk.
War.
Smash.
Battle. To the death. Tony, thank you so much for sharing.
Yes.
I'm so sorry about all of that stuff that you were going through, but I'm pumped for you and your boyfriend. He sounds amazing.
Honestly, congrats.
Yeah.
Sounds like you found a good one.
I seriously love that for you. And you know, even if stuff with your mom and sister go horribly wrong, you have that. And I'm really happy that you have that, because that's a bright future.
Yes. Agreed. Well, you ready?
This brings us to the end of the episode where Taryne Renee loves to end with a dad joke.
And isn't it? Yes. Okay, ready?
Yes.
To whoever stole my Microsoft Office subscription, I will find you. You have my word. Do you get it?
Yes, I get it.
Word.
That was horrible. That was so
ready?
bad.
How do you?
So bad.
Ready? How do you drown a hipster? In the mainstream.
Okay, I feel like that one was good. That one was good. The other one was bad. The other one was real bad.
Ashley. They're all good.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Be sure to follow us on the socials. Follow Taryne and I personally. We also have a UA podcast where you get to learn a lot more of our
UA Instagram,
where you get to learn a lot more about us on a much more personal level.
Yeah.
So yeah, check us out there, and you guys are the best. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Today's episode is brought to you by Headspace.
Headspace is your daily dose of mindfulness in the form of guided meditations in an easy-to-use app. Headspace is one of the only meditation apps advancing the fields of mindfulness and meditations through clinically validated research. So whatever the situation, Headspace really can help you feel better. Overwhelmed? Headspace has a 3-minute SOS meditation waiting just for you. I am very new to meditation. I started this year, and I found it to be very helpful and very comforting and very grounding. However, the sleep meditations are next level. I am sleeping like a baby now because I'm finally learning how to wind my body down.
Yeah.
And it is a very simple, very quick, easy process of just simply shutting each part of your body off and preparing it for sleep. And wow, does it work.
You deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/advice. That's headspace.com/advice for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every situation. This is the best deal offered right now. Head to headspace.com/advice.